সো দুইজনকে লাগবে আমার সিআর হিসেবে। তারা হচ্ছে ক্লাসের বিভিন্ন জিনিস মনিটর করবে, আর মিড টার্মের পরে প্রবাবলি আমরা সিআর আবার চেঞ্জ করব, আপডেট করব। তো এখন আমি দেখি কাকে সিআর বানানো যায়। আচ্ছা, আবু বকর হাসনান। আচ্ছা, anybody who wants to be the class CR, can you raise your hand please? Nobody? Okay, Nahidul Islam. Okay, thank you. So Nahid is the class CR. Anybody else wants to be the class CR? ক্লাস রিপ্রেজেন্টেটিভ খুবই স্মল কাজ থাকবে, খুব বেশি হেভি লোডস না। ইটস জাস্ট রিপ্রেজেন্টিং দ্য ক্লাস, অর সামটাইমস হচ্ছে আই মাইট ডিএম ইউ এন্ড দেন ইউ মাইট মানে ওগুলো পোস্ট করা এন্ড স্টাফ, ছোটখাটো কাজ আর কি। এনিবডি এলস? আচ্ছা, আপাতত তাসমিয়া। ওকে, থ্যাঙ্কস। So Tasmia or Nahid, these two people are our class here. So right now, Tasmia, Nahid, I'm adding you as co-hosts. So your task is to add the students. যারা হচ্ছে এখানে কি খুব নয়েজি না?
ম্যাম কিছু সাউন্ড আসতেছে আর কি
হ্যাঁ,
ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড। ম্যাম কিছু সাউন্ড আসতেছে ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড নয়েজ।
এটা একটা প্রবলেমেটিক সিচুয়েশন। আমাদের বাসার এখানে কনস্ট্রাকশনের কাজ চলতেছে।
ম্যাম খুব বেশি নাই অবশ্য।
হ্যাঁ, শোনা যাচ্ছে?
না
হ্যাঁ,
ম্যাম খুব বেশি না, খুবই অল্প।
আচ্ছা। আচ্ছা, সো লেটস স্টার্ট। হ্যাঁ, আমি হচ্ছে তোমাদের দুজনকে ইয়ে বানিয়ে দিচ্ছি, কো-হোস্ট। নাহিদ আর হচ্ছে তাসমিয়া। ওকে, ডান। তো তোমাদের কাজ হচ্ছে যে 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 জয়েন দিচ্ছে তাদেরকে জাস্ট অ্যাড করে দেওয়া। হ্যাঁ, আচ্ছা। সো আমরা হচ্ছে আমাদের অনেক লেট হয়ে গেছে, আমরা স্টার্ট করে ফেলি আমাদের ক্লাসটা। আর আচ্ছা, প্রেজেন্ট নাও। সো আমি একটা এন্টায়ার স্ক্রিন তো আমি একটা অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট দিয়েছিলাম, মনে হয় না কেউ করেছে, বা তাও আমি একটু বুঝিয়ে দিচ্ছি যে আমাদের কাজটা কি ছিল আর কি। বলেছিলাম যে আমাদের যে সিনট্যাক্স ট্রিটা আছে, এই সিনট্যাক্স ট্রিটাতে আমাদের হচ্ছে ফার্স্ট পজ, লাস্ট পজ, এই দুইটা ফাংশনকে অ্যানোটেট করতে বলা হয়েছিল। সো ও আচ্ছা, লেকচারতে ইংলিশ দিতে হবে। আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ। So we were asking, what I did is to ask you guys to annotate over our syntax tree that we constructed previously, and to annotate with three functions: nullable, first pos, and last pos. হ্যাঁ, so this is our syntax tree. So our syntax tree had these nodes A, B, A, B, B, hash. Is my screen visible to everyone here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So these were our position numbers 4, 5, and 6. So ekhane there was my OR, then we had a star, then there was a dot here, then dot, then dot, then dot. So this was our syntax tree. We constructed the We annotated over the tree with the nullable function, and then there was our first pause, and okay. So first pause, what was first pause? So we know that in each node we are also generating a subregular expression of the entire expression. So for example, at this OR node here, the generated sub-expression was A or B. Similarly, at the star node here, the sub-expression would have been A or B whole star, right? So there were sub-expressions generated at each node, interior node of my syntax tree. And when we are calculating first pause, so first pause is if we take a node n, any node n of our syntax tree, and we apply this function first pause over the node, then it means that all the possible strings that could have been generated from that expression belonging to that node will have an input symbol at the beginning, right? We'll start with some input symbol, and that input symbol's position number is going to be the first pause for that node. For example, this A here is coming from this leaf A, so the position for this A is 1. Similarly, this B here is coming from this B, so the position is 2. So I can generate a lot of strings from this expression A or B whole star. But I know that all strings that I can generate will either start with A or it will start with B. So that is why the first pause of this expression will be 1 or 2, which are the positions for A and B respectively. So do we understand what first pause is, how it's defined? Is it clear to you? Clear? So I need some responses from you, otherwise I wouldn't understand whether you guys are understanding the lecture. Oh, so did you understand what I said? Did you understand the lecture? Okay, so then the next part, so first pause means that if you apply this function at any node, then the sub-expression generated at that node will have some strings formed by the sub-expression, and all those strings will have a input symbol at the beginning, right, at the beginning of the strings. So the position numbers for those input symbols is actually the first pause for the sub-expression. Very simple. And what is last pause? So so suppose this is our node, and suppose the sub expression that's being generated at this node is what? A or B whole star concat A. All right, so this is the sub expression that's being generated at this node, and we can also mark the position numbers of each input symbol belonging to this node. For example, here A is coming from this A, so the position for this A is 1. Then the position for this B is 2, and this A is coming from this A right here, so the position here is 3. Now if I apply the function last pause, if we take the node n and we apply the function last pause over this node, then we can see the sub expression is this one definitely. And no matter which strings we generate, it's gonna always end up with what? A at the end, right? All strings will have A at the end, right? All strings that can be generated from this sub-expression will always have A at the end. And A has a position 3. So I can say that the last pause for this expression is 3. Are we clear on this part? Are we clear? Well, yes. Input symbol at the beginning of a string. For example, A or B whole star can have a string like A, B, B, right? And what is the input symbol at the beginning of the string and the start of the string? A. So A has a position 3. So the first pause for this expression is 3. Sorry, 1. The first pause is 1. Clear? Okay. So last pause is just the opposite of first pause. First pause deals with the input symbols that are at the beginning of our strings, and last pauses only deal with the symbols that are at the end. So that's there. And I also asked you to find out some rules, or annotate over this syntax tree based on the rules I gave you in the last class, but I think a lot of you did not do it. So, um, okay. So, first pause has four rules, and the first rule is based on the leaf nodes. So if we take a node which is a leaf node, this leaf node will have a position number, right? For example, position number for A is 1, B is 2, this A is 3, right? And so on. So the first pause of any leaf node will always be the position of that leaf node. So the first pause for A is 1, first pause for B is 2, first pause for this A is 3, which is its position number because these leaf nodes start and end with their own position numbers. Clear? Okay. Then I say that in case of a union or operator, the first pause of a union operator are the unions, of both of its children. So this or operator has two child, 1 and 2. So the first pause for this operator is going to be the union of the first pauses of both its children. And in case of a star operator, since it has only one child, being a unary operator, so for the star operator, the first pause is gonna be the first pause of its only child, which is here in this case A or B. And in case of an cat operator, I said that there are few rules that can be applied. So, for example, we have a cat operator here where left child is A, right child is B and C. Now, if this has a position 1, this one has a position 2, and this one has a position 3, if we concatenate these two leaves and we get ABC as a string or a regular expression which only generates the string ABC, right? And in this string ABC, at the start of the string we have A, so the position for A is the first pause for this cat node, which is 1, right? But if what we do is if we make the left child nullable by just putting an asterisk symbol on top of it. So now A star is nullable, but A was not. When A star is nullable, then any string that can be generated from this expression A star BC can start with A definitely, or it can also start with B, right? So can start with A. Also, I can also have B, C, and in this string B, C, the first pause for the string is 2. So when the left child is nullable, then the first pause for a cat node is the union of first pauses of its left child and right child. Otherwise, we only have the first pause of the left child. Clear? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then we have yes, this is the first pause for cat node. So let's see what is going to be the first pause for this node. Since this node here is nullable, when we have the left child as nullable, then we apply this technique where we make a union of both the first pauses of the children. So since the left child is nullable, then rule number 2 will be applied where union 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3 will be unioned or together in a set, and 1, 2, 3 will be the first pause of this cat node. Here, since the first child is or left child is nullable, right? Nullables are something that were computed previously, so I'm not delving into the details of nullable functions. Um, and now coming to this node here, if we are to generate the first pass for this node, again we check whether the left child is nullable. Since the left child is not nullable, so we do not need to look at the right child's first pass anymore. We only look at the left child's first pass, which is 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 will be the first pass of this cat node here. Similarly, for this cat node, left child not nullable, so 1, 2, 3 becomes the first pass. And lastly, this cat node is not nullable, so 1, 2, 3 becomes the first pass. Are we clear? Is this clear? Any questions so far? Because 1, 2, 3 is the first pass of the left child star node, right? So this was the rule that, right? Oh, now for this cat node, um, when we are applying first pass for this node, then it has two child. This is the star node and this A right here, right? And for this case, the left child to nullable, right? Because it's true, nullable is true. So we had to make a union of the first pass of the left and right child. So 1, 2, and 3 makes a union, and 1, 2, 3 is the resultant output. Clear? Okay, is the noise too heavy?
No, ma'am.
Yes, it's a very bad situation right now. Okay, so it's a very problematic situation. It's increasing. So what I want you guys to do is I will post a video of the first of this lecture, and then we will have a session on Thursday where we do a working example. Is that all right? Because it's very hard to teach in this situation. Will it be all right? Any problems if we just post the videos, because the videos are very clear and you already have the bugs videos, so go through the bugs video and also go through the video that I will post.
Ma'am.
Then both the two videos can have a, it's very noisy. All right,
ইয়েস ম্যাম, এটা নিয়ে সমস্যা নেই।
it
ম্যাম
will be
আমার
good.
একটা বাক্সের এটা নিয়ে একটা কথা ছিল।
Yes, tell me.
ম্যাম আমি হচ্ছে বাক্সের লিঙ্কটাতে হচ্ছে যখন আর কি লিঙ্কে করে হচ্ছে জয়েন করতে চাইলে হচ্ছে ম্যাম হচ্ছে আমাকে দেখায় যে হচ্ছে এই ইমেইলটাতে কোনো অ্যাকাউন্ট নাই।
Oh yes, you are trying to access with the non G Suite ID, I
নো
guess.
ম্যাম, আমি জিসুর দিয়েই ট্রাই করছি। বাট হচ্ছে আ এখন হচ্ছে না। মানে জাস্ট এই কোর্সের ইটাতে না, মানে আমার হচ্ছে
For
আরো
this
বাদ
course.
বাকি।
Acha, other people, have you had any problems accessing bugs? Yes, it was necessary because the bugs URL has changed. Apart from that, do you can you access the videos on bugs? Can you access the
Yes,
content?
ma'am.
You can, right?
Yes.
So, is there anyone who is not able to access the contents of bugs? I do have a YouTube video, YouTube folder. Okay, I will. Then what I will do is I will post the YouTube link where we have the videos of all the topics, and I will also post some consultation videos which are supplementary materials. These are in Bangla, and these are like interactive sessions where students ask questions. So a lot of questions, if you had, those can be addressed. All right.
ইয়েস ম্যাম, ইট উইল বি
Okay,
ভেরি হেল্পফুল।
so I'm canceling the class, and I'm really apologetic for problem that we are having. And hopefully in the last class, we will have a session and an it is, I will not cover this, by the way. I will have a classwork of some sort. Let's see what the classwork will be, and then we might give some sort of bonuses or something, some kind of like a positive reward sort of thing to people who are able to answer correctly. All right.
Um,
So is that all right with everyone?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm ending the session here. Apologies for the inconvenience and see you on Thursday. All right.
Okay, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.